The Dane and Derek Show is an uncensored, unfiltered podcast. Content warnings can be found in the episode description. Hello and welcome to the Dane and Derek Show, a podcast where two nerdy friends attempt to keep in touch and shoot the shit. I'm Benig-Aiello, a writer, director, and occasional D&D player, and today a Magic the Gathering player, and with me as always is my buddy, Dane Fogdall.
Hi, I'm Dane. I'm a writer, a musician, a podcaster, lover of tabletop RPGs, lover of Magic the Gathering, and I am struggle bussing on opening this Magic program. Here we go. Okay, we're fine. We're good now.
Great. Now that you're in, what is your favorite Magic the Gathering card?
Overall, Sarah Angel. It's just nostalgic for me. I got given a really old one, and I've had one from basically every set since. Currently, any Liliana Planeswalker is just a love of mine. And then Emrakul Aeon's Torn. I think I have won more games with that card than any particular other one. Like just number of games where I've played that and then I won. Beautiful, beautiful card. We're doing a challenge match. Deck type 60 card.
60. Yep.
Best of one. Coin flip. Okay. Okay, so we're getting started here. Okay, so Derek's challenged me.
Oh yeah, we're playing Magic the Gathering while we're recording this episode of Magic the Gathering. I forgot to mention that.
Okay, we're doing best of three, right? We're going to do 3 games, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll get to swap decks. All right, great.
Yes. Yeah.
Then we're definitely doing that one.
Well, while we're waiting for this to load, my favorite Magic the Gathering cards are they're all art based for the most part, except for one. Kithian's Irregulars, because I'd love to do a movie about those characters. I just love the art on that. It's like a bunch of people hanging out. And then I also love Ryusei the Falling Star. There's some beautiful art on that card.
Gotcha.
And then the last one, I think it's called like Wall Breaker or something. It's a very specific instant that allows you to destroy a defender instantly. Of like the very few games of Magic the Gathering I won using that card.
Gotcha.
And a lot of people complain that it's a card I should never actually have in my deck because it's a very specific card and not it's only useful if someone has a defender.
I mean, fair.
So, but it's a funny card.
Okay, so how long have you played Magic is maybe a good question.
Ooh, yeah. I've played Magic since high school, since I was since like I was 16. Because Ryan Chen and you and I want to say I can't remember who else was there. Oh, Chris Miller.
And Trevor Haggerty.
We would get sushi and we would play Magic. And I bought my first deck of cards at It's Your Move.
Oh, hell yeah. Great game store. I don't know if it's still open, but I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's that's how I got into it. What about you, my friend?
Shoot. Let me think how old I was. 8. And for Christmas, my uncle, my mom's younger brother, he was a big Magic player. And he came to Christmas that year, and he brought me all of his cards, like hundreds and hundreds of cards. And I got super into it. It was super fun. I loved playing with him. I always lost, but I loved playing with him. And I just kind of kept playing. I got I started buying my own cards. I learned to really build decks. Like I would buy individual cards to like make it to make it all run smoothly and play better. And then we started playing in high school, which was super fun. I really loved doing it. But I don't know if you remember it this way, but the way I remember it was Trevor and I were really, really good. Um, and
Yeah.
nearly every game would turn into um, me and Trevor getting into like a slug match, and everybody else would either sit around and wait to be like killed or wait for one of us to live, or to like, like it would always come down to Trevor or I. And so eventually, like, we kind of like stopped playing and just kind of stuck to D&D. um and then um so basically stopped playing like through the end of high school and all of college. um
Mm.
and then last Christmas, just before, because Gracie and I had my girlfriend Gracie and we had just moved to Boulder, and Gracie loves games and D&D and stuff with me, and we just went to our local game shop to like see what was there, and I bought a pack of Magic cards just to like have, like, for old time's sake, basically. um and it'd been a long time since I'd had some, so I was like really excited and like kind of just like looking at them, going through it, and uh Gracie, seeing my eyes light up, because I'd given all my cards away by that point, except for a few decks that were just really sentimental. Um, and I wake up on Christmas and I had all these boxes, and like I'm in my mid-20s, I hadn't gotten boxes and boxes for Christmas in years. I was like, the hell is this? She'd bought me a whole new collection, basically. Um, and I got back into it. I started playing at the local game shop. I even won a couple tournaments. Um, and then the pandemic happened, and we were like, ah, damn. And I haven't really gotten to go, but my whole household got into it, and it's been just a joy ever since. Um, to be able to play with people and all that stuff. So
That's fantastic. I'm glad that you were able to get back into it.
me too.
Yeah, I played a lot during college because one of my close friends from college, also named Trevor, played a lot of Magic, and we did like that Magic the Gathering web series.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, where it's basically like Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon, but Magic the Gathering.
Yeah.
um, that was a good time, and um, I remember I started, that's when I started going to like game stores and um doing uh like um like drafts and all that, and going to like pre-releases, and that was a really fun time. I really enjoyed going to like pre-releases and drafts. I wasn't good at any of it, but I really just played the game for the art, and I I those pre-releases give you great art.
This is true. GG, by the by.
Yep. Yeah. I got really mana screwed.
Yeah, you got mana screwed hard. I thought I was gonna get
yeah.
trashed that game. I had to mulligan twice. I only had 5 cards in my hand to start.
Oh, ooh.
Yeah,
Tears.
sad. All right, one for me. So is the art? So the art's your favorite part, though?
Yeah, the art is my favorite part. Yeah, I don't really, I have a really hard time understanding like the math and the infinite combos and a lot of those nitty-gritty kind of rules and stuff with it. But I don't know, like I find the art to be really inspiring and like cool to look at. Like I have a deck solely composed of like pretty looking dragons.
I mean, fair.
Yeah, and then I have another deck composed of like only exclusively like soldiers and Theros themed cards, just because I like that art.
That's totally fair. See, I one of the reasons I got back into it um, was I was feeling the itch to play D&D. But the truth was I didn't actually have the D&D itch. I had like crunchy mechanics, like complicated game mechanics itch. And so that's kind of what I love about Magic is I like when I kind of get to set off like a Rube Goldberg system on my side of the board. Um, that brings me a lot of joy.
Yeah.
All right, so we've started game 2.
Yep.
Did you change decks? Because I changed decks.
I changed decks as well.
For the audience, last game, I played a green black, and Derek was playing a pure blue.
Yep, pure blue. Now I'm playing. Should we reveal our colors after the fact or during the game?
Nah, let's do it during the game. We probably should have done it last time.
Yeah. I'm playing mono red.
Interesting. I am playing mono blue.
Fun. Mono red is my favorite color to play.
Interesting.
Primarily because there are dragons. And I like me some dragons.
I think at the end of the day, like absolute when all else fails, I think I like green the best. But I have a greater and greater fondness for black and white as I go along.
Yeah. Is that a partner card?
No, that is I just played Thassa Deep Dwelling. She's the ocean goddess from Theros. But she is not a creature until my devotion to blue is 5 or greater.
I see. So once you have like 5 creatures on the battlefield.
Essentially, yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. Very cool. Is that from the new? That must be from the new set. No.
The new Theros? Yeah, this one in particular, she's from the new Theros, but she was in the first one, I think, too.
Gotcha. That art is sick.
Yeah, she is lovely.
Speaking of D&D, because we have to mention it every episode.
We do.
Are you gonna get the new book?
Tasha's Cauldron of Everything?
No, the other one, the Theros one.
Oh, I already have it. Yeah.
I don't have it yet. What do you think of it?
It's really fun. Like really fun. It actually, I think, does a lot to make gods really fun to play with, especially if you're not like super good at like if you're a GM, it's a way to mechanize playing characters who are faithful. Like if you're a character and you claim that you're if you're devoted to Thassa, let's say the ocean goddess, there are tenets to her worship essentially, and if you follow them, then you are granted bonuses in game, like spells and stuff. And so it's a way as like a player, if you are someone who struggles with, if you struggle with role playing, like you have a player who's like really struggling with role playing like a cleric, I would genuinely suggest including the Theros deity mechanics, because it incentivizes them to do stuff for the deity. It's super cool. Yeah.
It's very cool. Very cool. Yeah, there's you made me mill like so many lands, 2 lands. I needed those 2 lands.
I'm sorry, not sorry.
It's okay. You're gonna make me mill again.
Yep.
I can't do anything. Or at least
brutal. Derek just milled 3 lands and he does not that's rough, buddy.
Yeah. I just
Hell yeah.
oh goodness. Oh, this is gonna be over real quick.
Maybe,
Um
maybe not. I'll be honest, my deck is not working like it's supposed to
I
currently.
mean, this deck is super simple. It's put a lot of mana on the field and um swing with some big creatures, and that's not really happening.
I mean, fair.
Oh, I think I'm just gonna have to take these attacks. Oh,
There we go.
oh. Uh, yeah, I'm just gonna take it. I'm just gonna take it. I can't afford to lose these creatures.
Not yet,
Well,
no.
actually, I can do something.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah.
That at least kind of helps me. Um, kind of. Oh,
Let me see. I'm gonna do that. Boop.
are you gonna get the Tasha's? Speaking of the Tasha's book, are you gonna get that book?
I think so. I may not get it right away, but I'm definitely gonna get it just because uh the number of options it introduces, along with, I don't know if you saw this, it introduces the ability as a GM to remove stat bonuses. And it basically, you know how you and I are always talk about how we'd rather race not be the most like such a building block and that the backgrounds were more important.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it lets you do that.
Nice.
Yeah, so kind of kind of that wish fulfillment there. So I was kind of like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's yeah, probably should get that.
Good to know. Good to know. I will look into that. I I've been reading a lot more Powered by the Apocalypse systems because I'm working on a Masks game now.
Yeah, you were talking about that.
Yeah, and I'm getting used to the whole there's no hit points thing. There's no hard and fast combat rules because it's all supposed to be role played, which is great. I think that's really cool. I just have never really done that before. So I'm getting used to that, and the way that Masks does the changing stats was interesting. Going
It
back to our
is. It
yeah,
is. So for
I
people who don't know,
mhm.
masks they have like states, and they're about how the it's an RPG about being like teen heroes. It's like definitely mere it's definitely based off of like Teen Titans more than anything else, right? And so, ooh, that is quite a bit you're sending at me there. Um, so the stats are based around how the characters feel about themselves, basically.
Mhm.
Um, and uh, sorry, I'm blocking at the same time. Um, I'm trying to talk about this, but yeah, so they change based around how players, how the characters are made to feel about themselves, and all this very interesting stuff. So it can be a lot to manage occasionally. Fun fact, Derek, I don't know if you saw, but she's indestructible.
Oh,
Um,
duh.
yeah.
I mean, yeah, you
I'm
can
so
clearly,
sorry.
it's okay. But listeners, you can clearly tell I am not at all good at this game. But that's okay.
I'm
Live and
a
learn.
Yeah, it's
You know,
you gotta have a good time.
yeah, I mean, I still enjoy it. I thought I was doing something really cool.
I know, yeah. I mean, from a like, that was the right thing to do. It really was. That was like the right move, except she's indestructible.
Yep.
Um,
On the bright side, I'm still standing.
you are still standing. So yeah, Mask is really interesting. It's all about narrative framing. Like, one thing I'll say about Powered by the Apocalypse games, I would exclude Dungeon World from this because it does have hit points. It is important to consider taking things. What other things you can do to narratively make somebody to cost somebody, right?
Mm-hmm.
Rather than just straight hit points.
Yeah, definitely. Because like especially like in a game of superheroes, where I mean we all see the media, superheroes are kind of indestructible.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's kind of like hit points are kind of irrelevant because it would just become a lot of long.
It would turn into Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, and it would just be like, okay, Mr. Son Goku, you have 2,000 hit points, and this bad guy only does 1 hit point of damage at a time. This is gonna be a long, long fight.
Definitely. Definitely.
And nobody wants to deal with that. That's exactly why, you know, you're playing Masks and not D&D.
Yes.
I don't really do a lot of like modern games. I don't do a lot of sci-fi.
Mm-hmm.
So like between trying to get a Lancer and now a Masks game running, I'm like completely out of my element.
That's so understandable.
It's refreshing to have this creative challenge because it's nice to stretch myself within systems that work versus modding D&D.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The last time I did a sci-fi game, I tried modding D&D and it just became really not so fun very quickly.
Yes. Yes.
Very quickly.
Something I will say about that is like the thing to like definitely, oh dang, look at that dinosaur you just put out.
Yeah, finally.
uh sorry, I'm trying to consider this. What I'll say about Masks is that it is like I would not go about trying to tell a the story of the Avengers. It just won't work out.
Mm-hmm.
You won't get the thing you're looking for. It's definitely designed to tell stories about heroes really struggling and coming into their own.
That's what I've come to appreciate about other systems is just they're a lot more focused, and that's nice. Like D&D
Mm-hmm.
is good if you want to play D&D, but you know there's a lot of in-game and out-of-game talk. And from what I'm gathering, I don't know what your experience was like when you were GMing, but it sounds like it's mostly in character and good game.
Good game. A lot of it can be in character. The other thing about Powered by the Apocalypse games is they tend to work their absolute best when your players are taking actions. Like when like in Dungeon World, one of the mechanics is called hack and slash. It's your basic attack move. It's best when your players say something to the effect of "I raise my sword high and bring it down on my opponent's head," and then the GM is like, yeah, that sounds like hacking and slashing. Roll 2d6 plus strength. As opposed to them saying, I think I'm going to hack and slash. The group I'm playing with now struggles with Dungeon World because a lot of them are people who struggle with the lack of concrete rules. Like they struggle to know what they should be doing, in a sense, if they're not given like, oh, I can attack sort of thing. So I'm with people. I'm always saying like with um, Powered by the Apocalypse games, make sure you're playing with like people who feel really comfortable because they don't hold your hand in certain ways that D&D is really good at. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a really good point. That's a really good point.
All right, third game.
Third game. Are you playing Mono Blue?
I'm still playing the Mono Blue because I did not do the thing it normally does, and I'm very proud of it, and I want you to see it.
Okay.
And I'm not certain it's going to happen, but again,
Well,
this time, but
hopefully my Mono Green deck will survive the night. Hopefully. Uh, hopefully.
so last game I won.
Yes, I have a feeling you're going to win this one as well, but you know that I don't think I've ever beaten you, and if I have, it was off of a technicality.
I'll say this: I think you beat me once, because by the time I'd beaten Trevor, because we were playing like a like many people versus many
Oh,
people. By the time I'd beaten
yes.
Trevor, we hadn't gotten rid of everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like heavily weakened and didn't have a lot of options left.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, okay, the deck is gonna work, I think.
Okay.
I think. So is your green just like big old fuck off monsters?
Yeah, it's a classic. It's a classic build your creatures, build them bigger, and the more creatures you have, the more things they consume, the higher number they get.
Fair.
It's a classic green deck.
Classic green.
Yeah. It can.
Yeah, totally.
Oh, because it just fights a creature I don't control.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. I need my bird.
Fair. Birds are important.
Birds are important.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, how many do I have to discard?
2.
Or an enchantment.
Yep.
I don't have an enchantment.
So then it's Ever Faithful 2 cards.
Ever Faithful 2 cards. Boom. Yep, okay. So we'll do that. Then...
Oh my goodness.
And then... that.
Wow.
That is how this deck is supposed to work.
Ominous Seas summon Krakens. Oh, what does cycling do?
Cycling, you can... If I still had that card in my hand, I could, instead of pay its I could pay 2 of any color and discard it and draw a card. But I can't do that on the ground now that the enchantment's been put out. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So anyways, I drew 6 cards and created an 8/8 by paying basically no mana. Last turn is what happened.
Yep. You've got a big creature card deck, and I have a big creature card deck, but you got your big creature out.
It's
ASAP.
It's a different way of getting big creatures out.
Mm-hmm. That's cool though. That's a classic kind of blue move to have you not pay for things.
It is fun.
And to like make you draw and discard a lot. That's like a very classic. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I just played Moby Dick.
And now I have a pirate.
You have a pirate that forces you to attack every turn.
Wow.
Yep.
Well, damn. That's a bummer. But
maybe if you have enough of them.
Maybe.
Let's see.
Maybe. I mean,
all right.
I kind of have no more cards in my hand, so
okay.
I'm all out of tricks.
Block there. Block there. All right.
That's cool.
All right, the pirate's donezo though. Cool.
Yeah. All right. That ended quickly.
I cannot play that a second time. So instead, I shall do this. Wow. None of those, please.
Oh, that sucks. Triples, it adds 3 to the cost of... That's a great card. Moby Dick, that's a great card.
Yeah.
Pursued Whale, for those wondering.
It's the Pursued Whale. It is 100% just Moby Dick. Like, no joke. That is exactly what it is.
I'm just gonna take it.
Fair enough.
And I will run the gambit. Okay, I ran the gambit.
Oh, did you draw land?
I draw 2 lands.
You drew 2 lands.
And I'm gonna hold because if I attack, you're gonna kill me. It's funny how a whale can block a land creature, like a fish can block a land creature, but a land creature like it's just that like I wonder if a water creature, a whale, can block a flying creature, just in terms of pure logic.
You know, I've seen some seals jump out of in nature documentaries, jump out of the water to
attack people,
to attack like a seagull. So maybe.
Oh, now you got 2 krakens.
Yep.
Is that also a legendary? Oh, another demigod.
Good game.
Yeah, this is lethal because if
you cannot block enough damage, I don't think. Maybe.
Yeah.
No, maybe you can. Because neither my krakens and whale do not have trample. Oof, very close.
Very close. Okay, I got. Yep. Now it's over.
Did you draw another land?
Yeah, I drew another
Oof.
land.
Oof.
Oh.
Big oof. All right. I will not draw out the agony. Good game.
Oh, good game. Oh, -33.
I just hit all
points of
attack all. I
damage.
didn't need to do that. I'm sorry.
It's
That was
okay.
rude. That was very rude of me.
I mean, it's always fun to like pull like it's very Yu-Gi-Oh to be like, I swing for lethal.
Yes.
That's just
these games are
good
silly
game.
and fun. Good game.
Yeah,
Good
game.
game. All right. Well, we've played 3 games. Did we answer all the questions?
You know, we kind of went off script, but at the same time, it kind of answered a lot of the things that we did. Anyway,
that's fair. That's
yeah.
fair.
And you know, we are at about time, so surprisingly, that worked out.
It did. It worked out nearly perfectly.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I got nothing else left to talk about, unless you got something on your mind.
Not in particular. I enjoyed playing a game with you. I enjoyed like. There's not a lot to say about Magic because there's not like it's not like a storytelling device. It really is just a game. But this was a good time.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's it for this week, folks. You can see what movies I'm watching on Letterboxd at Benig-Aiello, and conveniently also at Benig-Aiello everywhere else. Dane, where can we find you on the interwebs?
You can find me on Twitter at Dane_Fogdoll. And you can listen to my show, Diceology, like the science of dice, on iTunes, Stitcher, and Spotify.
All right, everybody. Thanks for hanging with us. We'll see you next time. And maybe one of these days, I'll beat Dane.
Well, I will do my best to never let that happen because, you know, you play to win the game, and I will catch you later.